نتمشى مع براين لك يلا اتمشى مع براين لكو نتمشى مع براين. العوافي يا جماعة and welcome to another episode of اتمشى مع براين. اليوم يا جماعة it's a beautiful Saturday here in Sydney. I am on a walk right now, and as you can probably hear the jingling of Arlo's chain, so Arlo's joining us on today's walk as well. It's a situation of two birds one stone, so نطلع بنتمشى وبنسجل الحلقة ونمشي لأرلو كمان، مع انه يلي بيعرفوا لأرلو كيف بيمشي هو عم بيمشيني انا، مش انا عم بمشيه. طقس حلو اليوم، وكالعادة بنبلش حلقتنا كل مرة بنكتة بايخة. and النكتة البايخة اليوم هي مرة واحد حلو تجوز وحدة حلوة، قام طلع ابنن بيدبق، وبس كرمال زيد البياخة بعد شوي عنسق هيدي النكتة. مرة واحد طويل تجوز وحدة طويلة، طلع ابنن ملفوف على البكرة. منيح، 6/10 بايخة. واليوم الحلقة تبعنا it's one of those rare, not rare, but it's just a random walk. There's no set topic to discuss today. Life got in the way of me being able to prepare something for today's episode. That doesn't stop us from recording the episode, because obviously in the world today there's so many things to talk about. And one of the things that I actually want to talk about is the World Cup. My favorite competition ever, كأس العالم, where everyone around the world sits and watches these nations battle to have one be crowned as the best nation in the sport of football. And since I said football and we're on the topic, I would like to end this debate once and for all. It's football, not soccer. It's football because you play it with your foot. Just like you play basketball and you throw it inside the basket, and volleyball is because you have to constantly volley the ball up, and handball is being played by hand, football is the name of the sport. Now, I know soccer is a term used a lot in the US, here in Australia, especially since the football team they have here is called the Socceroos, so you can see that it's pretty much ingrained in there. But it's football, it's not soccer. And that's what the world knows it for. It's known as football, the beautiful sport, the world sport. And that's why it's so nice to experience the World Cup. Now, I personally haven't gotten the chance yet to go and watch a World Cup game, but it is a bucket list thing that I want to do, definitely. Unfortunately, when the closest World Cup to us happened in Qatar, which was the last one, I had already moved to Australia, so it's just my luck not to be able to watch any of the games or any World Cup games. But I think there's still time and we'll still get to do this. Meanwhile, now the World Cup is being hosted in the USA. It's actually co-hosted with Canada and Mexico as well, so the games are split between all these three countries. Today was maybe the second day of the second round of games, so all the nations have already played their first games. Now, I have always been a Germany fan. I don't know what it is about it, or actually, for anyone who understands football and knows football well, they might understand the reference for me. The reason why I like Chelsea Football Club and Germany is because of the same player that used to play for both, which was Michael Ballack. And he is an exceptional footballer. And he was the reason why I chose Germany as well, because he's German. And Germany are doing very well. They smashed their first game 7-1. But the phenomenon of the World Cup is just so beautiful. It's basically uniting the world, uniting all of these different countries, all even countries that are politically at opposing one another. They still all join under the banner of the beautiful sport, which is football. And that just tells you how profound or how beautiful that sport is. I could still remember the first football game I watched was the Euro final, which Greece won against Portugal. And that was, I think, back in 2002. I'm not sure. Me and dates are not the best of friends. But I still remember the game. And it was when I generally fell in love with football. I played football, I still do. I obsess over it. And when the World Cup comes, it's just a phenomenon where you're just seeing a beautiful thing happen. Just being united under that banner. And so today, actually, in this World Cup, I've decided that I will be cheering on my second home, which is Australia. So Australia won their first game against Turkey 2-0. They lost their second game today to the USA, although it was very controversial. I will only say that, I will not say more. But I'm hoping Australia, who are the underdogs, and I always cheer on for the underdog, the unexpected team. And I hope that they do well and get to a point where they feel proud of what they did for their country and representing their country. So it's always nice to watch the World Cup. And for anyone who hasn't, I would recommend that you do and get into the sport of football, because it is the world sport. It is the biggest sport out there. Australia doesn't share that same compassion for football like Europe, like South America, like Africa, where you've got Brazil, you've got Argentina, you've got England, you've got France, you've got Spain, you've got all of these teams who dedicate so much to the sport of football because it's so beautiful. And so I hope this World Cup would kind of pave the way for football to grow here in Australia, or as they call it here, soccer. I still find it very weird to say soccer, but it's still a beautiful event. And like I said, the best part about it is that it just combines all of these people together. And like Arlo right now was having the best time of his life. He's basically sniffing everything. And he's pulling me along with him, so forgive me if I have to pause every once in a while to put him back on the road. But yeah, so World Cup. There's also some, I'll say it's sad news coming out of home, coming out of Lebanon, because today there's a environmental activist who's Lebanese who was injured a couple of weeks ago. Her name is Muna Khalil. She was injured from Israeli attacks on Lebanon, and today she succumbed to her injuries and passed away. And Muna Khalil is a very, very, very hard loss for us as Lebanese people. So she was a conservationist. She used to stand in the way of anyone that tends to destroy the natural environment of the south of Lebanon. And one of the biggest stances, and the one she's most known for, is her work with the sea turtles on on the coast of the south of Lebanon. And she was referred to as the sea turtle protector. Um, and my sister, who studied environmental sciences at university, had actually worked with Mona Khalil. And she was very upset as well by the news of her passing because she she is the perfect example of someone that needlessly died. She never intervened. She was never a combatant. She was never someone that um, did anything to provoke anyone in this war that's going on. And yet, she was someone that only cared about the environment of Lebanon, preserving the environment of Lebanon, preserving the wildlife that's in Lebanon. And to have lost her is a huge loss for us because I know there are many that will carry the torch, but it was her that started the flame. It was her that got people aware of what they're supposed to do in order to protect their environment and in order to preserve the Lebanese environment and the life of all of these sea turtles. Because we also know that in Lebanon, it's a state which is very corrupt in itself, and so a lot of natural coastland or natural environments are more often than none demolished by people who want to build resorts, people that want to create factories, whatever it is. So our unique wildlife and our unique um, environment always comes second to the greed of the filthy politicians back home. But she didn't accept that. She stood in the way of that. She fought against that. And she sought to protect what was unique in Lebanon, or one of its most beautiful aspects, which is our natural scape, our environment, and the animals and the creatures that live in it, including the sea turtles. And so it's a very sad day. It was like when I read the news today, I was very upset to know that someone like her, someone who stood for a cause, someone who chose to pave a way for us and to generally like protect the environment that's there, is just needlessly killed in this war. Um, so yeah, it's a hell of a day when you get sad news, but also um, like the World Cup happening at the same time. So you don't really know where you sit. Uh, you don't really know how to feel or what to feel. But I think it's good to talk about this stuff. I think it's good for us to always talk about these issues because the way we can make Muna Khalil eternal um, and to just keep her work eternal is by constantly remembering her, by constantly remembering what she did, and by being advocates for that cause. Um, and she could inspire you just like she's inspired me and so many other people to speak up and to do what is right and to protect what is sacred in Lebanon. And we should also talk about the good things, which is why I talked about the World Cup as well, because it's um, such a beautiful thing. It doesn't happen every year, and when it does, it just kind of brings the world together, everyone at the same time watching this tournament. And it's a way where you bond with a lot of people at work that I never had the chance to kind of find common ground and have a discussion with, also watch the World Cup, and all of a sudden we're talking about it. We're talking about the World Cup and we're talking about watching it. And we're discussing who we think is going to win and who our favorites are. And I think making sure to discuss the things that like affect your life on a day-to-day basis helps. It helps you kind of settle a lot of the emotions, thoughts that come along with that. So I was lucky enough to meet a friend of mine today, and I was sitting down with her grandfather, and we had, they're both Lebanese as well, and we had a talk about Muna Khalil and her impact. And it's good to let it out, to share the empathy towards what's happening. And so, yeah, it's like I said, it's a random episode of a random walk. Just nothing prepared, just thought I'd talk to you guys on what's going on in my head and what's on my mind. Um, I also read yesterday, which is fucking, oh my god, that the next summer, so the coming summer here in Australia, is going to be a hot one. Now, for context, last summer we had a couple of days that were 38 degrees, i.e., you could boil an egg outside, and yet this wasn't considered a hot one. It was like it's a warm summer. Warm summer. My friend, I told a friend, I was like, it's a fucking blistering, bro. It's so hot outside. He's like, nah, it's alright. It's just a warm summer. A warm summer. So like, I dread to kind of even imagine what a hot summer is going to be like. But since we're currently still in winter, I think we've got some time before we have to concern ourselves with that. Yeah, that's basically it. Just, I think this does for me more than anything. The benefit of just being able, even even if you guys are not physically there in front of me, but for me to just talk about this, it's a nice respite, nice change, and I feel like it's a form of therapy. And then obviously we have Arlo to tag along with us, but Arlo is not concerned at all by what we're talking about. The only thing he's concerned about is what he hasn't sniffed or peed on yet. Alright, go on, buddy. And so yeah, short episode for today. Just random walk, random talk. And it's always nice to have a change. It's not necessary that every time we or I record an episode, there has to be a profound topic or a certain guest to come along with us. And now I've just seen some danger. So Arlo's starting to lose his shit because he's seen another dog coming along the road now. Oh. Hey, relax. Look. Relax. It's alright. Relax. It's alright. Relax. There we go. Come on. He's gone. That's it. Yeah, Arlo's very he's very vocal when he sees other dogs. So I guess with that, guys, I say thank you for listening in. Also, thank you for giving me the opportunity to just talk about anything. Even on the days where there's nothing specific that we want to talk about, but just small bits and pieces of a lot of other things that we want to talk about. So, if I leave you with anything today, enjoy the World Cup. It's a beautiful ceremony and it's a beautiful event. Mourn the loss of Muna Khalil because she is someone that was very sacred to us. And just remember to always find someone to just talk about the things that are on your mind, like I'm doing with you guys. So, with that, I say thank you for listening. See you in the next one. وهيك وشكرا.